Hello everyone, and welcome to another Tuesday art video with me, Angela of Morbid Designs, and today is the dark side of the Taurus. The more I work on this project, the more excited I am, and I just love how it's coming out. As I noted in the end of the video in text last month for the Aries, I am making this into a coloring book. My goal is to have it available for pre-order in June, so I'm currently working on the character design so I can have basically a mock-up of what I'm going to propose for the book available to display at conventions coming up, and I'm so excited. I've got more than half of them designed. I'm on the Leo light side as the next one, but we'll talk about all of that when those signs come around. So I want to talk obviously about the dark Taurus here. So as usual, I'm going to be referring to the ebonymccarthy.com blog, focusing on what they've talked about on the dark side of the Taurus and how it inspired this piece. I do feel that the bull is a really great symbol for the Taurus because of their stubbornness. So I wanted to pull in that animal, that sign within this design, and I'm really pleased with how the feet came out on it, the horns. Like, I'm so happy with this character design. I did choose to go with the particular bundling and wrapping of the material around this character, particularly because of the fact that they form attached people and they don't like to let those attachments go. I wanted to show that in some capacity because I feel like that is an extremely important part of the negatives or the dark side of this particular sign. Tauruses also have a tendency to close themselves off and hide themselves because they fear being misunderstood, they fear judgment, they can be shy and withdrawn. So I wanted to show that as well, that there is this binding and restrictiveness of themselves. They want to be loved, they do want to be accepted, but they do have that fear, which is one reason they can have such tight connections and fixate on some people, is because they don't let very many people actually in. So those that they do, they get really close to. I have known Taurus in my past, but I've not known a ton of them. ebonymccarthy.com does say that Tauruses do tend to be possessive. I haven't necessarily seen that in behaviors that I've known as Taurus, but I haven't been an extremely intimate friend, like a best friend or a loved one. So that might be a side of them that I haven't really seen. I do agree that they have a tendency to have a childlike mindset regarding situations and adventures, but I don't necessarily think about it as a possessive object thing that this website, this blog does talk about. Now that could just be the Tauruses I've known. The traits discussed on any website or in any book regarding astrology signs in general are just generalities. These are not things that are actually in every single star sign. They're just commonalities across the board. Part of the stubbornness with the Taurus is that they are incapable of seeing what they may have done wrong. In fact, their apologies are not necessarily an I'm sorry, but they are a justification as to why they feel the way they do. They're sorry, but it's still your fault. You still did this wrong or something like that. They do always feel justified when they've hurt or offended anyone. And because of this stubbornness, they always have a feeling of justified, which goes back to the I'm sorry, but that I briefly mentioned. Tauruses can be very arrogant. I wanted to pull that arrogance off with the head positioning and the arm positioning. They do have a tendency to not open up fully to people, but they do want to appear amazing and special to outsiders. So it is a fine line, and I wanted to depict that openness yet that closeness, with the legs being crossed but everything else being open and slightly haughty, but they're definitely not as haughty as Leo's. So I hope that come across to you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this time-lapse creation of the coloring of the dark Taurus. The original of this piece is available on my website, as well as stickers. If you're interested, please check out that, morbidheartdesigns.com. Also, follow my social media for the announcement of when I will be doing pre-orders if you're interested. And from my dark heart to yours, have a wonderful day, and please don't die before my next video.